In Kalamazoo, an independent review into the policies and actions by Kalamazoo Public Safety during the summer of 2020 and the protests downtown is complete. News 8's David Horak joins us from our Kalamazoo studio on how recommendations from that report are leading to changes at KDPS. David.
Well, Brian, not only is the report complete, but KDPS and the city of Kalamazoo say they made sweeping policy changes to how officers would respond to civil unrest, hoping the violence in 2020 would never repeat itself.
It was horrible. You know, it was horrible for all of us. It was horrible for the community. It was horrible for my officers and staff.
The civil unrest in downtown Kalamazoo 3 years ago was a time then Assistant Chief David Boyson never wanted to see in the city he and his officers are sworn to protect and serve.
It was tough for everybody. I don't ever want to have to experience that again. We are trying to put everything we can in place to make sure that does not happen again, because I don't think anyone wants to relive that.
A 2-year report by an outside independent firm assigned a total of 40 recommendations to the chief's office, command operations, and the department's professional standards. KDPS policy updates based on those included communicating and engaging with protesters, use of force options, transparency through body cam footage, and mutual aid from other agencies.
We really put a lot of thought into that, and a lot of these things have taken time, but we have implemented many new things since 2020. So we have things available to us, equipment and training, additional staff that we did not have in 2020.
That includes doubling the staff on the department's crowd management team. 5 of the 40 recommendations needed community input, clearer protocols for dispersal orders and police zone declarations, and establishing guidelines for calling in the National Guard, specifically addressing criminal misconduct in protests, and determining which crowd control techniques would be authorized. In March, a subcommittee made up of leaders from KDPS, the city, and community groups agreed that the proposed changes addressing those were fair and reasonable, ensuring that the freedoms of speech and assembly are protected for protesters.
The balance is, you know, we have to protect people's constitutional rights. People have a right to assembly. They have a right to protest. We just want to make sure they're doing it safely, within the law, and we're there as peacekeepers. We're making sure that the protesters are safe and the community safe and everyone's constitutional rights are protected.
Now, Boyson said while the review and its report are finished, his department will not stop learning and training to maintain that balance. We did reach out for comment to the OIR group, the consulting firm responsible for the report. They were not available for an interview. We're live on our Kalamazoo studio. David Horak, News 8.